Welcome to Protagonist Pub. My name is Tammy, and this is where characters gather. Look who showed up. Say hi.
Hello.
He's here very reluctantly. He chose 24 books for 2024.
No, I chose 21 books, several of which were bound with anthologies to increase efficiency, and we actually over-offered by 3 whole books.
Okay. So, what are your choices?
Okay.
I have no idea.
I turned you onto this author because of the...
Towers of Sunset.
Well, the author.
Yeah.
Because of the magic system that was involved. It was basically the XX of Recluse were the earlier books. It's a magic system based off of order and chaos that are actually based in real definitions of order and chaos. The short version, white ain't good.
Yeah, it kind of flips the whole color scheme for
Well, no, because white...
good versus evil on its head.
Well, white isn't good. White is chaos. It's every color imaginable and every, band doing what it does. That's why it's white. It's basically an overload. So.
Next up.
2 books in a row, and this wasn't simply a grab on the shelf. She's read the first 2. I read the first one. The second one I didn't like, and then she has 2 more that she bought for the series. It's a Dwarven series that is, once again, based in a 15 degree off of normal.
So the third book is Revenge of the Dwarves, and the 4th book in the series is Fate of the Dwarves. I have read the first 2. Unlike Jeanette, I am not going to go back and reread them because they're thick. Yeah, and the bird's talking. No big deal.
Well,
Pickles.
The bird's going to continue to talk because I'm sitting here.
Yeah, it's fine. He talks all the time. Next.
I picked 3 in a row because they were a series. I knew nothing about them. Basically, I needed some taupe.
I need some taupe. All right, he chose the Ivy Hill series by Julie Klassen. First one is The Innkeeper of Ivy Hill. Book 2 is the Ladies of Ivy Cottage. And book 3 is The Bride of Ivy Green. That would be Christian historical romance. Okay. Now what?
All right. We're getting the stack that is based around me. Bird's getting annoying.
He's fine.
So, Amanda Scott Boudica. No,
Y'all know I've been trying to read this for a while, so now I have no choice.
Correct. Hard to find. More importantly, somebody kept seeing it and not buying it, waiting for it to go on sale. We had words about that book, and it was in the opposite direction from most of the book people out there. Buy it.
Yeah, well, remember, there's 3 more books in the series. It doesn't conclude in book 1.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they'll be available on Amazon for 15 minutes, 8 seconds, and then gone again. All right. This one, it had the word Atlas in it.
All right, so this is the follow-up to the Seven Sisters series. I've read the first book. This is the last book in the series, so I will substitute book 2 in.
Is it blue at least?
No, it is not blue at least.
Oh, my system shot. All right. I picked this one not because it was science fiction, but because the title is Pure Stupidity. Leviathan Falls. Leviathan is a biblical or mythological creature that lives in the ocean. It can't fall.
It's also book 9 of a series, of which I do not own any of the other books. They were supposed to come from Cavalet's, and this was going to round out the series, and Cavalet's never showed up.
Husbands, that's a trap.
Yes, that's a trap. I'm
now on the hook for 8 more books.
Signed you.
That's okay. I just won't buy tires and brakes for the car.
That's me. I'm a horrible wife. Hey, wait, the heck? That's weird. Doesn't do that. Okay. Sorry about that.
I've never heard of this place, and I figured she can tell me about it.
Nice big chunker. This is historical epic fiction.
What's the difference between historical fiction and historical epic fiction?
This starts in Stone Age Britain.
Okay,
And-
so the timeline is epic.
Yes, the timeline is epic. It spans millennia.
Okay.
It's not fantasy, it's historical fiction.
Well, I heard epic, and once again, I was fearful for my wallet again, because if it was like Epic Games, that means there would be DLC for it. And
No, it's a
Okay.
standalone. You're safe there.
so, The Count of Sandwich. So, in reality, I read this book as a teenager. I read for a living now, so I don't read for fun. But this is the type of stuff I would chew through, like when I was 14, 16 years old type of thing. And she, the classically trained college graduate, credentialed for yada yada, had never read this book. On top of that, her career path was based around, contracts and subjugation and arguments and so forth. And she'd never read this book. So she's going to read this book. I think she's already...
I've started it.
Yeah.
It's also one of my favorite sandwiches in the world, too.
All right. Let's see here. So I needed something green, and it was actually a quick read, downside, and it was something that I had recommended she read because it was, once again, one of the books that I read early on.
I just booked one of a series.
Well, yeah.
And you all know I'm going to read this year, so.
I suspect she's going to have trouble. All
Oh,
right.
that's just a challenge, buddy.
2 words.
Uh-huh.
Dune Messiah.
Yeah.
If the techno speak is too deep in there, you're going to have trouble. Now,
Dune Messiah was not a techno-speak problem.
no, Dune Messiah was basically dragging political speak without any intrigue.
No, Dune Messiah was just genocidal pathology.
Well, that too, but it was boring while it did it. So basically, if you
Yes.
remember the first 1 through 3 for Star Wars, there was the one scene in the Senate that seemed to drag on for 15 minutes. It was only about 2 minutes in the Senate where they basically were passing laws. That was Dune Messiah. All right. This is the consolidation of work. Earthsea books, which she had been interested in for the longest time. It's a chunky boy because it's 5?
5.
Yeah, it's 5 books bound together. This counts as 5 in my book.
Well, it counts as 4 because I've read the first.
Okay. But see, being in management, I already planned on some sort of, failure.
Redundancy?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, well. So, okay. It's a chunker, and it's going to be a challenge because I didn't really like the first book.
And then I was informed while perusing the bookshelf, because I asked, what, you've read this? And I swear to God, she read my copy, my Hastings records paperback copy from the 80s that still live, because back then paperbacks, had some glue in them. Lord of the Rings, 3 books.
I haven't read it. I promise you, I have not read it.
All right. If you actually haven't read it, then I can guarantee you're going to burn through the first one, and then you're going to Dune Messiah the second one. Because
I haven't read it.
No, I speak from experience. It was a slog. And then the third book paid off. But
Middle book syndrome happens to the best of authors in the world.
So you're saying there's always a Jen. Okay.
Yeah.
Brandon Sanderson, Rhythm of War. It's got a nice beige /brown/green lady on the front, and it's got a nice cover and so forth. I'm guessing it's about a bard. I could be completely wrong.
You are completely wrong. It is book 4 of the Stormlight Archive series. Book 5 comes out in November. And oh, by the way, we will be pre-ordering it. Just say it.
All right. I don't need tires and brakes.
I don't pre-order many books.
The yard, because mine's overgrown, it's winter, and I have a lot of work to do in it.
Historical mystery.
And because my greenhouses have failed miserably this year, hence the even more work in the backyard, I could not stop for death.
Almost a January book club choice.
Okay. And this, Mrs. Graham's Cold War Cookbook. I'm hoping this is the female version of the Anarchist Cookbook, and she learns how to make C4 in the kitchen.
I highly doubt Mrs. Graham learns to make C4.
How are you going to repel the Ruskies if you can't make plastique in your kitchen? So, people who don't read young adult fiction, especially fantasy or science fiction, one can miss out on a lot of things. And the other portion is they can get the wrong impression either from, their Generation A, Generation Z, millennials, wherever you fit to have kids and grandkids in that area. Or you can just see the atrocious movies that are made out of these things. Aragon was one of those. The Aragon movie basically sucked bilge water twice. In reality, the Aragon books are excellent. I haven't read past the second one, but I believe this is 3, isn't it?
I believe this is 3.
Okay.
I haven't read the first 2, so I will sub out 1. But I have to get it back from Kim.
Okay.
It's in that big pile of books Kim has not returned.
Okay.
So I will sub that out.
So this was definitely an impulse grab.
You're good.
Basically, quite literally, it was the font and the picture on the front.
Written by a fellow YouTuber.
Okay. It looks very Dark Souls.
It is grim dark fantasy.
No, not grim dark, Dark Souls.
It is, and I've read some of it. You would actually enjoy this. It's compared to heavy metal fantasy.
I actually don't enjoy those.
You would enjoy this, trust me. Not that I expect you to read it. It's the first book of a trilogy. Brian's losing his eyesight. Luckily, he finished the trilogy before he went completely blind, but yeah.
And last on here is a chunky boy. The Rebels of Ireland. Because the Welsh kick their ass constantly.
Pardon his language. Which is actually book 2. Book 1 of the Dublin Saga is The Princes of Ireland.
Those guys.
Yeah, those guys.
There's a reason they sent in the Welsh every couple hundred years.
Uh-huh.
Because of those guys.
Yeah. That's it? That's all you're done?
Okay. Anything else?
I'm asking if there's anything else over there. I didn't watch you pick books.
No. Just your sticky tabs all over our wooden
Okay.
TV trays.
Thank you. Is there a penalty if I don't finish?
They're your books. If you don't finish them, they're left unloved.
Okay. You know I can't stand that challenge.
Okay, fine. Anything you don't finish by
The end of the year.
August 1st, I put it on the top shelf in the kitchen.
Oh, no. That is wrong.
So the quick story there is we used to live in an RV. RVs have cabinets that go all the way to the ceiling. The ceilings are generally like, 10, 12 feet tall because of the way that they're built. And I was moving books around. Now, mind you, we had 310 square feet to live in with 2 dogs, a cat, a parrot, a turtle, me working from home, and of course, another adult. And so I took brand new books that had come from Amazon that were not even ready to be read because she was reading the preceding books in the series. And I put them in the cabinet above the television set. They could be seen. They were open. It wasn't like there was a lock on it or anything else. It was simply Shorty McShorterson couldn't reach them and proceeded to have a meltdown.
Yes, I did. I had a complete meltdown. I very rarely bought books when we lived in the Gump. It was one of the first times I had bought books in years. And next thing I know, I couldn't reach any of the books I had just ordered. Oh, yeah.
So,
it was a meltdown.
So we basically put, like iron blocks, battle axes, battery-powered drills, things that, you don't care if it falls from 10 feet above, especially when you're going down the road, or if you're sitting there watching TV, and put them up high, and then put the books, down low where somebody could reach them.
Priorities, dude.
Yes, well, the drill killed the cat. No, it didn't.
That's a horrible thing to say. So if I have to read all of that by August, I have 6 months.
I guess you better focus on one Warcraft character then. And then move on.
I guess you better be prepared to do an August video.
Okay. You'll remind me in July and I will go, what video?
Yeah. Oh, Lord.
We're going to have to reshoot this.
Why? We're fine. Trust me. He talks in videos all the time.
You people are much more patient than me at this point.
David needs coffee. And
I need more coffee. He needs to shut up.
Leave a comment down below, like and subscribe. And we will see you here next time at the Protagonist Pub.
And if I insulted anybody, I'm not sorry. Please leave a comment and I won't be back.